Dune is directed by Denis Villeneuve. The movie is 2.5 hours long. I went into this film knowing little to nothing about the books, and I have to say, overall the movie is decent and it does provide quite the cinematic experience. The visuals and feel this film gave was beautiful. However, I felt the film was still pretty flawed in terms of the writing. I felt like the movie lacked a sense of personality. At times, it felt pretty empty, which was probably due to the lack of character building and emotion. In this review, I would like to go over some of the character moments and give an overall review of the film. I want to start by talking about Paul, who was the main character in this film. Paul lacked a lot of depth and emotion initially. I'm not sure if it was intentional so that we can see the character develop more later on. However, we really only got a glimpse of his true emotion during the scene when him and Jessica, who was his mom, were in the tent. In this scene, he expressed to her how he felt it was her fault that he felt like a freak. I thought this moment in the film was really good, and I wanted more moments like that from all of the characters so that we can get to know them better. I will say that the Lady Jessica is one of the characters that I was most interested in. I really felt she has a lot of emotion and depth to her character. I wanted to know more about her and her backstory. I also really enjoyed Dr. Kynes. She was a mystery, which made her character intriguing and a great part of the film. I can't wait to get to know more about Jessica and Dr. Kynes, who I believe is still alive. Stilgar was also an interesting character, which I hope we will get to know more of. I felt like all of the other characters were decent. I just think they needed more screen time and more true character moments. Rebecca Ferguson did an amazing job in the role as Jessica. She truly had a standout performance. The story was confusing at times. The way each group or house was introduced was difficult to follow. At least it was for me. At times I felt myself trying to figure out where everyone was from. The antagonist was lacking motive to the point where I didn't fear for the protagonist. While they did show the antagonist on and off throughout the film, I don't believe his motive was substantial. I did like the band's creepy vibe and how he floated throughout the movie. Hopefully in the next film we will get a more in-depth look into what he is all about. The musical score in this movie was a little over the top. While I thought it was good on its own, I felt it was too dramatic than what some of the scenes called for. It kind of reminded me of Wonder Woman in Justice League, where they would yodel every time she appears in a scene. I felt like the tone could have been different in certain scenes. Instead, we got constant loud music in scenes that really didn't need it. The costume design, CGI, and effects were all great, even the cinematography. The creepy vibe throughout the film was also a nice addition. I really enjoyed the rumblings of the sound in the film. The commanding voice some of the characters possessed was fantastic. Dune, without a doubt, provided a fantastic visual story, and it was definitely cool to watch. However, I just wanted more. Not more in a good way, but because I wanted more from the characters and the story. I felt the movie was a 2-hour-long prologue and then it ends. When it ended, I was left wondering what had I just watched. This can't be how they're going to end the initial film. I know a lot of people state that we need the sequel in order to understand it better. However, films should be able to stand on their own without having to rely heavily on its sequel. There are so many film series that were able to leave us with a great cliffhanger while simultaneously building up their characters in the world. With that being said, I know the sequel will be a great cinematic experience, but I hope we get more out of the characters in the story. Dune was great to watch, and I probably would watch it again only to make sure I hadn't missed anything. But from the initial watch, I'm wondering if it was actually good or not, or was I just overly hyped to watch the film. I will definitely be tuning in once the sequel comes out. I feel it may turn out to be even better than the first. As always, please remember to like the video, subscribe, and tell me below what you thought of the film and if you watched it. Thank you for watching.